I'm Warren Sharp, and this is Sharp Football Analysis. On today's episode, we're going to be breaking down 5 of the very best rookie prospects at the wide receiver position for the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft. A lot of the analysis in here is exclusively from our 2026 draft kit, which is now available for you guys to go check out over at sharp.football. Just punch in sharp.football, find your way to the 2026 draft kit. You're going to get all the information and analysis you need to get previews on every single critical prospect of the 2026 NFL Draft. Don't hesitate. Let's dive in. Makai Lemon is not built in the prototype of a Calvin Johnson receiver. It's arguable that his archetype is more important now in today's NFL than it ever has been in the past. Coming off of a Biletnikoff winning season at USC with 79 catches for 1,156 yards and 11 touchdowns. The efficiency profile immediately stands out with him. Lemon averaged 3.13 yards per route run, which ranked second in this class and was one of only 2 receivers to clear 3 yards per route run against both man and zone coverage. That level of consistency across coverage types is obviously rare. A 29% target rate ranked 7th in this class, but the production scaled with it. Lemon generated a first down or a touchdown on 14% of his routes, which ranked 3rd in this class, as he averaged 2.8 yards per team pass attempt, which ranked 2nd among all receivers in this class. While he was used in the screen game on 21% of his targets, his downfield production still remained elite. No receiver in this class had more receptions on throws 20 or more yards downfield, and Lemon caught 64% of those targets, which ranked 4th in this class. His total receptions on throws of 20 plus yards down the field was best of any receiver in this class. After the catch, the production held up relative to the roll. An average of 6.4 yards after the catch per reception ranked 3rd among receivers in this class, while a 27% missed tackle forced rate ranked 8th. Ball skills and finishing ability also show up in the data. His career 2.2% drop rate ranked 2nd best in this class, and in contested situations, Lemon had the 4th highest catch rate. And in the red zone, 58% of targets were turned into touchdowns, which ranked 2nd in this class. It's hard to top that level of efficiency. Over 70% of Lemon's routes came from the slot, where he produced 52 receptions for 791 yards and 7 touchdowns. When aligned outside, the efficiency held up, with 3.4 yards per route run on those snaps. There is also evidence of advanced coverage recognition. Lemon averaged 3.1 yards per route run against zone coverage, with a background at cornerback showing up in spacing and timing within his routes. The current landscape for wideouts winning as a high-end target-earning wide receiver 1 in today's NFL is about versatility, being able to win at the full route tree, play inside and out, finding space against all of the disguised coverages shaping the defensive meta, and creating after the catch. We are no longer in an NFL where the Alpha X receiver is dominating targets and stacking the most points. The takeaway here with Lemon is that his profile checks multiple rare boxes at once. Top 2 efficiency in yards per route run, over 3 yards per route run against both man and zone coverage, and elite production both downfield and after the catch within the same season. Jordan Tyson has one of the strongest receiver profiles of anyone in this class. Across 4 seasons at Colorado and Arizona State, he averaged 4.8 receptions per game, which ranked 6th in the class, 69 yards per game, which ranked 4th, and 0.7 touchdowns per game, which ranked 3rd. When he was on the field, the usage was extreme, and he was the most dominant player in this class. Tyson accounted for 47% of Arizona State's receiving yards and 65% of their receiving touchdowns, one of the highest market share profiles in this entire class. And that carried into this past season, where he was targeted on 32% of his routes, which ranked 2nd. Alignment also played a role in how he won. From the slot, which accounted for 24% of his routes, Tyson drew targets on 38% of those routes, showing just how quickly he could become a focal point when working inside. The separation ability shows up most clearly against man coverage. One reason that Tyson takes some liberties with routes is that he is one of the best receivers in this class at understanding leverage and getting open against man coverage. He averaged over 3 yards per route run against man coverage and was targeted on a class-high 44% of those routes. Now, against zone coverage, the production dipped to 2.2 yards per route run with a 27% target rate. Both are good, but not great, and that gap highlights both the strength and the risk of his receiver profile. Route running is more fluid than rigid, with a tendency to adjust routes based on leverage and coverage. That approach creates high-end separation against man, but it can also lead to inconsistency when timing and spacing need to be exact against more complex zone structures. The production with the ball in his hands has not matched his great ability to get open. For his career, Tyson has averaged just 5.1 yards after the catch, which falls in the 20th percentile for prospects since 2015. This past season, he forced missed tackles on just 10% of his receptions, a lower rate than several vertical receivers in this class, despite operating at a shallower depth of target than they did. There is still versatility in his profile. Tyson has taken snaps at all 3 receiver positions and has been used both as a target earner and in manufactured touches, which supports the overall production. Availability is a major variable with him, however. He has missed a third of his college games due to injury, including a torn ACL, MCL, and PCL in 2022, a fractured collarbone in 2024, and a hamstring injury this past season that limited his pre-draft process. The takeaway with Tyson is that the on-field profile checks nearly every box in terms of production, target earning, and ability to separate, especially against man coverage. The evaluation comes down to whether the route style translates cleanly to NFL timing and how much confidence teams have in his ability to stay on the field consistently. Carnell Tate is the latest high-end prospect at the wide receiver position coming out of Ohio State, and his profile leans heavily into efficiency and downfield production. His production improved each season despite sharing the field with Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Egbuka, and Jeremiah Smith. That final year resulted in 51 receptions for 875 yards and 9 touchdowns across 11 games. Efficiency metrics hold up even in that environment. A mark of over 3 yards per route run ranked 3rd in this class, while 2.1 yards per team pass attempt ranked 11th. The gap between those two numbers reflects the type of role he played. Target quality drove the production. An average of 17 yards per catch highlights the vertical nature of his usage. Over half of his targets, 53%, resulted in a first down or touchdown, which ranked 2nd best in this class, while 17.7% of his receptions went for scores, which ranked 5th. Tate was one of the best boundary receivers in the country last season. He converted 12 of 14 contested targets, an 86% rate that ranked among the best in this class, and secured 11 of 17 targets on throws 20-plus yards down the field, a 65% rate. 6 of those deep target receptions resulted in touchdowns, tied for the most in this class. His air yardage profile supports that role. An average target depth of 15 yards ranked 7th in this class, while only 11% of his targets came on screens, reinforcing just how little manufactured offense Ohio State gave him. Physical traits show up in these situations as well. At 6'2", 192 pounds, with 31.75-inch arms and 10.25-inch hands, Tate consistently wins in tight coverage. Across 66 targets last season, he was not credited with a single drop. You can make a strong case that Tate has the best hands in this class, and he makes tough catches for receivers look routine. Ball skills are a defining trait in his profile. Only 12% of his receptions resulted in a forced missed tackle, a lower rate than many receivers in this class, but that aligns with a role built around vertical routes rather than spaced touches. Alignment provides context for that role. Tate played 87% of his career snaps out wide, and was used primarily as a field stretcher. When given limited opportunities in the slot, he averaged 5 yards per route run, which would rank among the highest marks in this class if it scaled up from a target perspective. There is also value added outside of the passing game. PFF assigned Tate the 4th highest run blocking grade among wide receivers in this class, which supports his ability to stay on the field in multiple situations. The primary question in his profile comes from target earning. Despite strong efficiency, Tate never reached 1,000 receiving yards in a season and averaged just 3 receptions per game for his career. In 14 games against ranked opponents, that production dropped to just 2.9 receptions per game for 37.5 yards per game. That creates a smaller sample of high volume production compared to other receivers in this class. The takeaway for Tate is that efficiency, ball skills, and downfield production all grade out at or near the top of this class, particularly in contested targets and deep throws. The evaluation comes down to how much volume he can command at the next level and whether that vertical, boundary-heavy role expands more into a complete target profile. KC Concepcion has one of the most versatile and unique profiles at the wide receiver position in this class. The breakout came early for him. At age 18, he caught 71 passes for 839 yards and 10 touchdowns at NC State, while adding 320 rushing yards, immediately showing a dual threat ability. After a dip in 2024, production rebounded at Texas A&M with 61 catches for 919 yards and 9 touchdowns, along with added rushing usage. Efficiency metrics fall just outside the very top tier of receivers, but remain very strong across the board. A 27% target rate, ranked 10th in this class, 2.3 yards per team pass attempt, ranked 8th, and 2.5 yards per route run, ranked 11th. A first down or touchdown on 13% of routes, ranked 4th best. That production came with very inconsistent quarterback play. 25% of all of his targets were thrown off target by his quarterback, the 3rd highest rate of any receiver in this class. Separation was a defining trait for him. Concepcion posted 2.8 yards per route run against man coverage and 2.5 against zone, showing consistent production across coverage types. Independent charting has also labeled him the best separator in this class. Versatility showed up in alignment and usage, with 65% of his snaps coming outside, a higher rate than several receivers in this archetype, while still offering slot flexibility. Production after the catch stands out relative to role as well. An average of 7.2 yards after the catch per reception led all receivers in this class. His average depth of target was 12.3 yards, and no receiver in this class combined a higher yak per reception with a deeper target depth. That combination is obviously very rare. Usage near the line of scrimmage was limited, with only 13% of his targets being screens. That is significantly lower than comparable players such as Lemon at 21% and Omar Cooper at 28%, showing that Concepcion's production was not heavily manufactured. Ball skills show up in contested situations, as Concepcion converted 67% of contested catches, a rate that matches some of the top receivers in this class despite a smaller frame. Additional value comes with the ball in his hands. With 70 career rushing attempts, he offers more designed and off-script usage than most receivers in this group. The takeaway with Concepcion is that the profile combines top-tier separation, rare after-the-catch production relative to target depth, and added versatility as a runner. The evaluation comes down to cleaning up some of his drop issues and how consistently that efficiency will translate when paired with more stable quarterback play, hopefully, at the NFL level. Omar Cooper enters this cycle as one of the biggest risers after a breakout 2025 season. His early career was quiet. In 2023, he posted just 18 receptions. In 2024, volume stayed low at 28 catches, but the efficiency flashed, averaging 21 yards per reception with 7 touchdowns. But everything came together for Cooper in 2025. He finished with 69 receptions for 937 yards and 13 touchdowns, operating as a primary weapon in Indiana's offense. Efficiency metrics backed that jump. A mark of 2.6 yards per route run ranked 9th in this class, while 2.3 yards per team pass attempt ranked 6th, both ahead of teammate Elijah Surratt. Scoring production stands out across his profile. 19% of his career receptions resulted in touchdowns, which ranked 2nd in this class. This past season, 48% of his targets resulted in a first down or touchdown, which ranked 7th in this class. The most defining element of his game is what happens after the catch. Cooper forced missed tackles on 39% of his receptions, the highest rate in this class. He averaged 7.2 yards after the catch per reception, which ranked 8th. That production came with a different usage profile than many of the receivers in this group. 28% of his targets and 32% of his receptions came at or behind the line of scrimmage, one of the highest rates among receivers in this class. Alignment further supports that role. Only 16% of his snaps came out wide, which was the 4th lowest rate in this class, while 84% of his receiving yardage came when he lined up in the slot. But his 2024 season showed vertical ability with over 21 yards per reception and strong touchdown production on limited volume. He also shows additional value in the run game. He recorded the 5th highest run blocking grade among receivers in this class, supporting his ability to stay involved in multiple phases of an offense. The takeaway with Cooper is that the profile is built around elite after-the-catch production, top-tier missed tackle rates, and strong scoring efficiency. Cooper is entering the NFL at the apex of his archetype's utilization. He is a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan dream-type receiver, and that coaching tree is now everywhere across the NFL. Not only can Cooper create after the catch, but he is impactful in the running game as well. If you want more draft analysis, including a profile on 46 different rookie wide receivers in this class, make sure that you check out our draft kit over at sharp.football today.